it's Janine and I'm living life with a twist. Today I'm going to be showing you how I'm doing one of my turkeys this year. And that's actually going to be on our grill because we want to show you our outside cooking and what you can do with that. So it's actually going to be made with parchment paper and stapler, and it's going to sound kind of crazy, but I know you're going to want to stay tuned to see how wonderful this turkey turns out and how moist. I'll see you in just a minute with my turkey. Hey y'all, it's Janine and I'm living life with a twist. It's that time of year, gobble gobble, and today we're going to be bringing you our version of a Martha Stewart recipe that we saw, but because we're doing something with a twist, we're actually not going to be putting it in the oven, we're going to be putting it on our grill. And it's not the same as other traditional turkeys because it's wrapped in parchment paper. So, you know, the French have the en papillote is what they call. But we're going to need our compound butter first. And frankly, you don't have to have a compound butter. You can just take, and I highly recommend a salted butter, which is what we have right here. It's one stick of salted butter, and I'm going to be adding just a few things to it. But like I said, you don't have to, but this is what I prefer to do. I would, though, put a little more salt. The bird is really big. We all know that, and it can use the salt. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put 1 whole teaspoon, and this is actually truffle sea salt. You know, I can't afford real truffles, and I'm sure, I've heard, you know, on the cooking shows, they turn their nose up at it, truffle salt, but you know what, I like it, and that's what I can afford. So there we go. When I start making that truffle money, then we'll talk about it. Be different. Okay, so next I'm going to be putting in another teaspoon, but this is of granulated garlic. I really want the garlic flavor to come through, and so that's what I'm doing for my recipe. But you could use, you know, Italian herbs. You could use, well, it's just anything. You know, it's whatever your taste is. Okay, so next I'm going to be putting in some freshly ground pepper, and that's probably going to be about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to do it by eye because I'm used to this. But if you were making this exact recipe, I would use 1/4 a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, so we just do this real quick. And then we can get to putting our turkey in the parchment paper. And, you know, we do a lot of videos where we use our outdoor kitchen. You could say we're a bit of a prepper, but we mostly think of it prepping as natural disasters and fires, which is, of course, is another natural disaster. What we don't want is to be caught unawares. And that means we have our outdoor kitchen, which also helps us save money in the summertime because the electricity isn't used as much in the oven, with the oven and the stove. And it also keeps the heat out of the house. Because when you're living in Mississippi, whoo, it's hot. Okay, so what I've done right here, I've just stirred real quick. You know, if you're making a steak and you're making a compound butter, a lot of times people will actually use parchment paper like this and make like a log, but you don't have to do that because it's going to go straight on our bird. And when you see me next time, when I come back, I'm going to have the turkey on here and we're going to show you what to do. Okay, y'all, here we are. We have cut 40-inch length of parchment paper, 3 equal pieces, so 40 inches a piece. We have laid 1 sheet down. Then we put the middle, that's going to make the cross, and then we put another sheet over that to kind of sandwich that cross in between. Okay, what we're going to do before I actually put the turkey down is I'm taking some unsalted butter and I'm going to spread it over the parchment paper. This is salted butter. It doesn't really matter. The point is you need butter on the bottom, and it doesn't have to be your compound butter. You want to get every bit of that lovely flavors that you made in your compound butter to the rest of the bird. This is just like a preventative measure to make sure that the paper does not stick. It really shouldn't. Parchment paper does not act that way, but you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. Okay, I think that that's going to be just about good. Maybe a little bit more over here on this side. And then I'm going to pull my turkey over and we're going to get to it. I just want to make sure that it's wide enough here. Okay, now, the turkey that I have, I'm setting right here. This turkey has been brined in a saltwater brine for 6 hours. We take it out, we wash it to get that salt off, and then you pat it dry. And we've just put this in a bag to hold until we could cook it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take my turkey out and put it like so. Okay. And of course I'm using some gloves, and this is all going to be cleaned with bleach and everything. Because when you're working with turkey, chicken, fowl, you really have to be extra careful. Okay, so this is just your standard turkey that you get. We've thawed it. Like I said, we brined it 6 hours, take it out, wash it, pat it dry. We put it here with our parchment paper, and now I'm going to get to slathering my compound butter that I just made all over this bird. And you can be generous with it. It's Thanksgiving. I know you might be looking at it like, my goodness, that's a lot of butter for people who are not keto. And yes, the one stick has made just the perfect amount. I'm even going to put a little bit inside because that will also melt and give off the aromatics of some of the truffle. Okay. Now, usually I will go like this for the bird. Get those wings down. I'm having a little bit of a problem when your hands are slathered in butter. They tend to be a little bit slippery. Okay. Get a little bit more on this side and get my other leg bent back and underneath. Maybe. Okay. You know what? I'm going to cut the web. It is a little bit in the way. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And by the way, no matter what I'm doing, whether it's this parchment paper, whether it's just straight on the grill, whether it's in the oven, you're always going to want to put your wings back because they're going to get burnt. And you got to do turkey low and slow, but you don't want burnt wings. I actually love the wings. I'll eat them. So, and burnt is not good. Okay, so I'm getting all that little bit of compound that's left in my bowl, making sure everything has been generously covered. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to have to take these gloves off. I'll be right back. Alright y'all, I'm back. I'm actually not going to be touching the turkey anymore. I'm just going to be touching the paper. So I have my gloves off and I've cleaned up a little bit here, but it's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to wrap this. We're not going to be putting any garlic, onions, or we're not doing anything in the cavity. We're just strictly doing it this way. You're going to take the first paper that has the butter on it. You're going to take it, let it meet in the middle. You're going to fold, fold, fold. A little bit of room, but not too much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stapler and get this stapled. It's the easiest way to do it. Okay. Next, I'm going to be bringing this over. Okay, gonna just repeat the process. I think you'll get the idea. When we come back, I'm going to get this together, and when we come back, we're going to be putting this on the grill. See you in just a moment. Preheated to 350 degrees. I've put my turkey in a roasting pan, and I'm going to put this directly in the middle of the grill. We're going to cook it for 2 hours, and then we're going to come back and open up the paper so that the skin can get nice and brown. So that will be the next thing you see. Hey y'all, okay, this has been about 2 hours almost on the grill at 350. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this open and put it back on the grill so the skin can crisp up, and then it will be finally done. So right now I have my scissors, and I have this because I'm afraid, and I have my gloves on because I don't want the steam to hurt me. Or whatever, the heat, you know. It's safety first. What's the point of cooking good food if you burn yourself doing it? So, okay. Yes, I think I can do it now. These gloves are very protective. They're high-long, I don't know, but they're very protective. Okay, so you see the bird is pale. So that's why we're putting it back on the grill so that it can crisp up, and everything else, it'll be the final cook. And when that happens, I will bring it back and show you what the turkey looks like. Okay, y'all, it has been 45 minutes since I uncovered the parchment, or uncovered the turkey with the parchment, and I put this back on the grill. Same temperature, 350. So you saw how pale it was before I put it back to brown, you know, for the top to brown. So if it hasn't come quite up to temperature, you need to keep an eye on the browning. If it has to cook longer before this pops out, you might end up having to go back and tint this while it's on the grill. You're just really going to have to know your turkey. And of course, the cooking times will vary according to, you know, if it's a 10-pound turkey versus a 20-pound turkey, well then obviously the cooking times are going to vary. So what I wanted to show you was right here with like the butterball turkeys, the non-organic, they'll often have these thermometers that pop out. They're not quite thermometers, but they indicate when the turkey is done. But I'll tell you one thing that will always tell the truth, and that is going to be the meat thermometer. And I put it in the thickest part without touching any bone, and it has to come up to 165. That is safe for poultry to be eaten, and so you definitely want to make sure you hit that 165. You can just rely on this, but I tend to, you know, like having my meat thermometer. So the other thing I wanted to tell you is that we're going to put a link to these high long gloves because they're nice and long. They're rubber gripped, and with the length of this, you don't have to worry about when you are getting something out of the oven, you know, having to worry if you're going to singe yourself in any way because it's so far here. And it really is thermally protective. I never had any felt too much heat come through these. So we're going to put, you know, we're not endorsing because they sent it to us or anything, but we just like this, and so we're going to put the link down in case y'all want to get that too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is when you take out the turkey, no matter what you do with your turkey, grill, oven, whatever, you're going to need to let it rest for a good 25 minutes to a half an hour. That's for the juices to settle and to get back into the meat. And there's nothing worse than dry turkey, so don't cut it open unless it's rested a good half hour. When I come back, we're going to have it on the platter, we're going to cut into it and see how it all turned out, and I'll be right back. Oh, yes, I'm going to put this tent over it while it is resting, just to kind of, you know, keep nothing flying around, keep some of the heat in while it's resting, and there you go. All right, y'all. Okay, y'all, my turkey has rested more than a half hour. Actually, it's about 35 minutes now, and I took it out and put it on our platter. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the breast off and get that sliced up. I am I'm ambidextrous, so I tend to change knife hands, except when I'm chopping. Okay. You can see all that pretty skin. And you can see that the white, that it's thoroughly cooked. And my hands are clean, so I'm just asbestos hands over here trying to get this off. There we go. Okay, I want you to look right here. You can see the juices. I'm hoping that you can, I'm going to bring it up a bit. You can really see the juice in the meat. And it's just perfect. Now I'm going to do a little taste test. And I'll put the turkey here. And I have part of the breast. So I'm just going to taste it. That's very good. Remember, we brined it, washed it off, then slathered it in our compound butter. We then folded it in all the parchment paper. We put it on the grill at 350 for a solid 2 hours before I uncovered it, so it could brown on top for another 45 minutes. So I want to say it's excellent. It's juicy. It has definitely enough salt, and just has an excellent flavor. And I really want to encourage y'all to explore the compound butters, to explore what you can do on the grill. This is definitely a recipe that we're going to be doing again. So I just want to say, y'all be blessed and keep living life with a twist. And please subscribe. Please hit thumbs up, share, and check out our other videos where we do kind of natural disaster prep, and I do a few beauty videos. So please support us if you like what you see, and subscribe. And if you have any kind of comments or questions or anything, please go ahead, feel free to leave them below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So y'all be blessed. Bye now.